one that's going to lead to this idea that we can really thrive together. You just heard that message. But we're going to start that conversation with this. So what's wrong with this picture? Any ideas? Well, actually, it does balance, but it defies logic, doesn't it? I found this picture by Googling work-life balance. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's kind of fragile. What I think is interesting about it is that rock on that side, it must be really heavy. And it almost looks like if you breathed on it wrong, it would just topple. The reason why I like to talk about this is because this idea of the 7 F's that were mentioned earlier, I wrote this book 7 years ago with my friend Tim Schmidt. And the basic premise in the book comes right in the first chapter that says, we do not believe in the notion of work-life balance. Mostly because the reference implies one is a sacrifice for the other. Work is life. Life is work. Human beings were made to enjoy working hard and building things. The main reason I don't like the idea behind work-life balance is that it was actually invented by accident by a New York Times columnist. One of those send in your problems columns. So someone sent in a column saying, I'm really struggling, and the person said, well, you know what your problem is? You struggle with work-life balance. Well, the reason why I don't like that is because this phrase, what we concentrate on grows, is kind of behind almost everything in human behavior. So it's almost like a badge of honor in our society to say, you know what, I really stink at work-life balance. My job, oh my gosh, it's so difficult, I have no time, I really, really stink at that. And the more we say it, the more we concentrate. The more we say it, the more it grows. It's just a framework. And what we can do as leaders is we get a chance to control that framework. And we have a different one. We think there's a better solution. It's the subtitle of this book, and it's called Blending the 7 F's. How to live with less stress and lead with less fear. The idea behind that is that the 7 F's, which is an exercise we're going to get involved in here in just a second, that these 7 F's, if we think about how to fulfill these things in everyday life, we can actually conquer this dilemma called work-life balance. But let me tell you how